Namaste. Welcome all to the Model School webinar sessions. We have mathematics session today. So we have again Sanjeev sir who will be dealing with the further topics in this circles chapter, conjugate points and conjugate lines of circle. I wish that all the students will concentrate and learn well. So over to you, Sanjeev sir. Please carry on.
Thank you, sir. So good afternoon, children. You have been learning the topic of circles since many number of days. We go for the next concept of circles, which are called as conjugate points and conjugate lines. So before knowing what exactly are conjugate points and conjugate lines, so let us recall what we have discussed in your previous classes. We have discussed about the chord of contact, equation of chord of contact in your previous class. Then we discussed about polar and polar. Then we discussed about the equation of polar. S1 is equal to 0, which is xx1 plus yy1 plus g times x plus x1 plus f times y plus y1 plus c is equal to 0. Then we have discussed about the polar equation with the circle equation is x square plus y square is equal to r square, which is xx1 plus yy1 minus r square. Then we have discussed about finding the pole for the line lx plus my plus n is equal to 0. The circle equation is x square plus y square is equal to a square, which is given as minus a square l by n minus a square m by n. Then if the circle equation is s is equal to 0, you have followed a procedure in finding the pole. Okay, so these were the concepts which you have taken in your previous classes, and you have done enormous number of problems on this. And also I hope that you have done all the practice problems which has been given as assignments. So let us get into the topic. So before getting to the conjugate points and conjugate lines, we discuss some small theorem here. The polar of P x1 y1 with respect to circle S is equal to 0 passes through Q x2 y2 if and only if the polar of Q passes through P. So the polar of P passes through Q and polar of Q passes through P. That is what is the condition here. Just see the figure here. You got P as a point, and this is what is the polar of P, right? So point is here and polar of P is here. And you see that on the polar of P, you got point Q. Okay, if you find from this point, the polar of Q here, the polar of Q is this one. It is polar of Q. And it is passing through P. So you observe that from the figure, polar of P passes through Q and polar of Q passes through P. So we are going to prove it as a statement, okay, as a result. So what is given here, you got a circle equation here, and you take a point as P x1 y1. So what is the equation of polar? The polar equation is given as S1 is equal to 0. So it is xx1 plus yy1 plus g times x plus x1 plus f times y plus y1 plus c is equal to 0 with the polar of P with respect to circle S is equal to 0. Now what is statement here? The first statement is the polar of P with respect to S passes through point Q. So you take another polar equation of the Q here. The polar of Q is x2 plus yy2 plus g times x plus x2 plus f times y plus y2 plus c is equal to 0. Is the polar of Q with respect to circle. Now what is given is the polar of P passes through Q. So it means that you can substitute the point x2 y2 in this equation. So when you substitute here, you get x1 x2 plus y1 y2 plus g times x1 plus x2 plus f times y1 plus y2 plus c is equal to 0. Remember this expression was called as S12. So S12 is equal to 0. Right? Now, simply extend the positions of x2 and x1. You can write as x2 x1 y1 and y2, it is y2 y1, g times x2 plus x1, f times y2 plus y1 plus c is equal to 0. So you got s21 is equal to 0. So it means that the polar of q should pass through the point P. So if you got polar of P passes through Q, then polar of Q also passes through P. So it is only a simple statement here. So remember the statement, if at all you have got 2 points, the polar of P passes through the point Q, then the polar of Q should pass through P. And if the polar of Q passes through point P, then the polar of P passes through point Q. So with this input, let us discuss about what exactly are conjugate points. So 2 points P and Q are said to be conjugate points with respect to circle. S is equal to 0 if Q lies on polar of P. So you can say if at all the 2 points you are saying it as conjugate point, if you find the polar of P, on the polar of P you got a point Q lying, then you say the 2 points are conjugate points. So just see here, P is a point and what is a polar of P. So on this polar of P, Q is lying. So if at all you got the statement like this, then you can say that these 2 points, the point P and Q, are conjugate points. So when you say P lies on polar of P, it is obvious that Q also lies on polar of P. So if Q lies on polar of P, then P lies on polar of Q. It is reverse statement also. If P lies on polar of Q, then Q lies on polar of P. That is what is statement here. If you take Q lying on polar of P, then P also lies on polar of Q. So you can say when you got these 2 situations, when the 2 points are like this, the polar of the first point lies on the second point and polar of second point lies on the first point, then you can say the 2 points are conjugate points. Now, what is the condition that the 2 points are conjugate points? So just previous slide you have taken S12 is equal to 0. So that is what is the condition. The condition for the 2 points to be conjugate to each other is S12 is equal to 0. So what is S12? It is x1 x2 plus y1 y2 plus g times x1 plus x2 plus f times y1 plus y2 plus c is equal to 0. So if this condition is satisfied, then you say that these 2 points are conjugate points where the P is given as x1 when Q is given as x2 y2. Simple way is you find polar of the first point and substitute second point, or find the polar of second point, substitute in the first point. You can say that the 2 points are conjugate, and that is what is the condition which has been put as S12 is equal to 0. So once you understood what exactly as conjugate points, we can discuss about conjugate lines. So you got the polar of P here and polar of Q here. So these 2 lines, they are calling it, we can call it as conjugate lines. So if P and Q are conjugate points with respect to circle, S is equal to 0, then the polar of P and Q are called conjugate lines with respect to circle. So this is what is the polar of P, this is what is the polar of Q. So these 2 lines which I have drawn here, they are called as conjugate lines. Understood, children? So let us take a simple problem here. Show that the points minus 6, comma 1 and 2, comma 3 are conjugate points with respect to circle x square plus y square minus 2x plus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. So what is it you can do here? You got 2 points. One you called as x1 y1, second you called as x2 y2. Then you got a circle equation. From the circle equation, you can find the value of GFC and simply find what is S12. If S12 value is 0, then you say the 2 points are conjugate points. So we do the same thing here. We got a circle equation given as x square plus y square minus 2x plus 2y plus 1 is equal to 0. Then the value of G is minus 1, F is 1, and C is 1. So you got the value of GFC. The next statement, what do you do? You take the first point, x1 y1, and second point as x2 y2. So if the 2 points x1 y1 and x2 y2 are conjugate points, we got the condition that S12 is equal to 0. So this is a formula which you got. we are going to use this formula for the problem here. So what is x1, y1 here? Minus 6, comma 1. What is x2, y2? It is 2, comma 3. So here x1, y1 is equal to minus 6, comma 1. x2, y2 is equal to 2, comma 3. Now let us check whether this condition which you have taken here, is it satisfied or not? So you got x1 value and x2 value, y1 value and y2 value, g value, f value and c value. Check whether it is satisfying or not. Put the value of x1, y1, x2, y2, g, f, c values in the above equation. You verify whether the condition is satisfied or not. So you observe that you take up the left hand side of this, put the value of x1 as minus 6, x2 value is 2, y1 is 1, y2 is 3, minus g value is minus 1, so minus 1 here, x1 plus x2, so minus 6 plus 2, f value is 1, y1 plus y2, 1 plus 3, c value is 1, put 1 here. So minus 6 into 2 is minus 12, 1 into 3 is 3, minus 6 plus 2 is minus 4 into minus 1 is plus 4, 1 plus 3 is 4, 4 into 1 is 4, and 1. So minus 12 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 1. So when you add all these values, you're going to get 12 here. So minus 12 plus 12 is equal to 0. So once it is equal to 0, it means that the 2 points are conjugate points. So the points minus 6, comma 1 and 2, comma 3 are conjugate points with respect to circle. Now the question can be asked like this also. If minus 6, comma 1 and 2, comma k, so instead of 3 you put k, are conjugate points to the circle, find the value of k. So you put as it is, in place of 3 you put k here and take equal to 0. You get an equation in terms of k, solve the equation, you get the value of k straight away. Excuse me. So having understood this, let us take a small theorem here. Let s is equal to x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0 be a circular equation with radius r, and the lines L1x plus M1y plus N1 is equal to 0 and L2x plus M2y plus N2 is equal to 0 be the two lines. So you can say that once this is what is the condition, you have got two statements to be taken here. The first statement is L1x plus M1y plus N1 is equal to 0, L2x plus M2y plus N2 is equal to 0 are conjugate lines with respect to circle 1. So these two lines which I have got, they are conjugate lines. Then another condition you got, R square into L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equal to L1G plus M1F minus N1 into L2G plus M2F minus N2. Now the theorem says that once this condition is satisfied, if you take the statement 1, we can prove the statement 2. And if you take the statement 2, you can prove the statement 1. So statement 1 and statement 2 are one and the same. So we need not prove this statement here, this result here, we just take it as a result. Okay, so you can say that these two statements are one and same. So when you take these two lines are conjugate lines, then we can prove that R square into L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equal to L1G plus M1F minus N1 into L2G plus M2F minus N2. If you have got the statement 2 here, we can prove that the lines are conjugate lines. It is a if and only if condition. Okay, so we are not going to prove the result, we just take it as a statement. Now let us take one more result based on this. If you got two lines L1x plus M1y plus N1 is equal to 0 and L2x plus M2y plus N2 is equal to 0 are conjugate lines with respect to circle x square plus y square is equal to r square. Now the condition 1 is same here, but the condition 2 you see here, you got in place of r square you got a square because radius is a here, and in place of this entire expression you got n1 n2. Now here circle equation is given as x square plus y square is equal to a square. So center is going to be 0, 0, right? Radius is going to be a. So G value is 0 and F value is 0. So put G is equal to 0 and F is equal to 0 here. When you put these two values as zeros, you get minus N1. And when you put these two values as zeros, you get minus N2. So minus N1 into minus N2. So minus into minus is plus. So it is going to be N1 and N2. So put R is equal to A, G is equal to F is equal to 0 in the previous result. We get this result. So only remember this result. This result is not going to help you out in solving the problems. Of course, you can use the result and solve the problems, but it is going to be time consuming and remembering part is going to be tougher. So instead, I recommend you just remember this formula and I recommend you to see the procedure how to do it. Okay. Now, so based on this result, we take up one small problem here. Find the value of k if kx plus 3y minus 1 is equal to 0 and 2x plus y plus 5 is equal to 0 are conjugate lines with respect to circle x square plus y square minus 2x minus 4y minus 4 is equal to 0. So what is it you can do? You can just as it is take the previous statement and prove the result. So see what was the result here? When you got two lines are conjugate lines, you put the value of R, L1, L2, M1, M2, G, F, and N1 in the above result. You are going to get the answer. Get the value of K. Instead, we are going to go solve the problem by usual method, which you have been doing for all the other problems. So what is it you do here? You find the G value, F value, and C value. So 2G is minus 2, 2F is equal to minus 4, and C is equal to minus 4. So G is equal to minus 1, F is equal to minus 2, and C is equal to minus 4. Then what is given? You got two lines here. These two lines are conjugate lines. So you can straight away say that these two lines are polars also. So you take any of these two lines as polar equations. We have preferred 2x plus y plus 5 is equal to 0 as polar equation because this is not having any letter k, which you are supposed to find. Here, you got an unknown. So instead, we have taken this 2x plus y plus 5 is equal to 0 be the polar. Now you take the pole as x1, y1. So what is the equation of polar formula? It is xx1 plus yy1 plus g times x plus x1 plus f times y plus y1 plus c is equal to 0. So g value is minus 1, f value is minus 2, and c value is minus 2. So you get xx1 plus yy1 minus 1 into x plus 1 x1 minus 2 into y plus y1 minus 4 is equal to 0. Now rearrange this. So you got x here, so you can write as x1 minus x1 minus 1 of x plus y1 minus 2 of y minus x1 minus 2y1 minus 4. So you got an equation in terms of x1, y1 like this. This is also a polar, this is also a polar. So equation 1 and equation 2 both are polars. So since equation 1 and equation 2 are polars, represent same, we can say the coefficient of the x, coefficient of y, coefficient of constant terms are proportional. So x1 minus 1 by 2 is equal to y1 minus 2 by 1 is equal to minus x1 minus 2y1 minus 4 divided by 5. So this was situation we have been solving almost 4 to 5 times in the last few classes. So you try to find the value of x1, y1 from this. So how is it you do it here? You take a pair, any one pair, find an equation in terms of x1, y1. Then take another pair, find another equation in terms of x1, y1. Solve those two equations, you get the point straight away. So the first pair, x1 minus 1 by 2 is equal to y1 minus 2 by 1. So what is it you can do? Cross multiply. So 1 into x1 minus 1 is equal to 2 times y1 minus 2. Bring everything one side. So 1 into x1 is x1, 1 into minus 1 is minus 1, 2 into y1 is 2y1, minus 2 into minus 2 is minus 4. So you can write first x1, next minus 2y1, then minus 1 plus 4, which is 3. So it is x1 minus 2y1 plus 3 is equal to 0. This is what is the equation in terms of x1, y1. You can call it as equation 3. Likewise, you take another pair, x1 minus 1 divided by 2 is equal to the last terms, minus 2x1 minus 2y1 minus 4 divided by 5. So cross multiply. So 5 into x1 minus 1 is equal to 2 into minus x1 minus 2y1 minus 4. Expand this. So 5x1 and minus 2x1 other side. So it comes as 7x1. Then minus 4y1 comes the left side as plus 4y1. Then you got minus 5 and here minus 8. So minus 5 plus 8 is plus 3. So you get the equation as 7x1 plus 4y1. Excuse me. 7x1 plus 4y1 plus 3 is equal to 0. So you got two equations in terms of x1 and y1. You need to solve these two equations. Get me the values of x1, y1. So the first term you get it as x1 by 1, and then coefficient of y, constant term, coefficient of x, coefficient of y. So it is 2, 3, 1, 2 sequence. So minus 2, 3, 1, minus 2. Likewise, 4, 3, 7, 4. So use a cross multiplication technique. So minus 2 into 3, 4 into 3, then 3 into 7, minus 3 into 1, 1 into 4, minus 7 into minus 2. So you get x1 by minus 6 minus 12 is equal to minus 6 minus 12 is equal to y1 by 21 minus 3 is equal to 1 divided by 4 plus 14. So minus 6 minus 12 is minus 18, 21 minus 3 is 18, 4 plus 14 is 18. So you can write x1 is equal to minus 18 by 18, y1 is equal to 18 by 18. So when you simplify this, you get the value of x1 as minus 1, y1 as 1. So the point x1, y1 you have called as pole. So the pole is minus 1, comma 1. What is that you do here? Because you said that the two lines are conjugate lines, the polar of the first line passes through second point, the polar of second point lies with the first. So you can say that minus 1, comma 1 passes through the second equation. What is second equation now here? It is kx plus 3y minus 1 is equal to 0. So substitute the value of x as minus 1 and y as plus 1. So what do you get is k into minus 1 plus 3 into 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So because these two lines are conjugate lines, the pole should satisfy the line kx plus 3y minus 1 is equal to 0. So in place of x, you're putting minus 1. In place of y, you're putting 1. So k into minus 1 plus 3 into 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. So it is minus k. 3 minus 1 is 2. So minus k plus 2 is equal to 0. So value of k is 2. So for k is equal to 2, the two lines are conjugate lines. So I have done this procedure because this has been done in almost all the number of problems. Instead of remembering the formula r square into L1 L2 plus M1 M2 is equal to L1G plus M1F minus C minus N1 into L2G plus M2F minus N2 is equal to 0. This is more popular method or more easier method to solve. Okay, so we can adopt this method in finding the values of k. So let us discuss another concept called as inverse points. So what do you mean by inverse points? So you see that you got a circle here, the center is C, and you got point Q and point P. And this line, you are calling it as polar of the point P here. Now, what you observe is these two lines are intersecting. Which lines? CQP line and the polar of P are intersecting. So let C be the center and R be the radius of circle. S is equal to 0. 2 points, these 2 points, P and Q are said to be inverse points with respect to circle. S is equal to 0. If the first condition you should have is these 3 points, what are 3 points? C, Q, and P. They should lie on the same line. So if C, Q, P are collinear, the first condition. Second, very, very important condition is, first condition is C, Q, P are collinear. They are lying on the same line. Second condition is P and Q, you take P and Q, where it is above the point C. Either P and Q can be above the point C or below the point C, but it should be always on the same side of C. So, or on same side of C. So, you see this Q and P are above C here. You can take Q and P below C also, but they should be always on the same side. So, C, P, Q are on same side of C. And the condition is CP into CQ is equal to R square. If this condition is satisfied, then you say the 2 points P and Q are inverse points. So let us repeat this. Let C be the center and R be the radius of circle. S is equal to 0. 2 points P and Q are said to be inverse points with respect to the circle. S is equal to 0. If the first condition C, Q, P are on same straight line or they are collinear such that P and Q are on same side of C. And very, very important condition, CP into CQ is equal to R square. Okay, so just try to recollect the formula or the definition. Just read it again and again, you'll understand it properly. Now, take a small theorem without proof again. Let C be the center and R be the radius of circle. You take circle equation as x square plus y square is minus r square is equal to 0. You can also take general equation of circle, no problem here. 2 points P and Q are inverse points. You have got 2 conditions, isn't it? So instead of these 2 conditions, we have got a simple thing here. These 2 points are inverse points. If Q, where is Q here? It is between C and P, somewhere between C and P. So this Q is a point of intersection of which 2 lines? CP line and polar line. So Q is a point of intersection of polar and the line joining C and P. Okay, this is a definition of inverse points. But while solving the problem here, instead of satisfying both the conditions and getting the value of Q here, we can as well take this simple result. What is it? The point Q is a point of intersection of CP as well as polar. So easily you can find CP, easily you can find the polar. Solve those 2 equations, you get the point Q. So the point Q is going to be the inverse point of point P. So let us take a small problem on this. Find inverse point of minus 2 comma 3 with respect to circle x square plus y square minus 4x minus 6y plus 9 is equal to 0. So earlier I said you can take general equation of circle also. So you have taken a general equation of circle, standard equation of circle x square plus y square minus 4x minus 6y plus 9 is equal to 0. So what is given? Equation of circle, center minus g minus f, so it is 2 comma 3. The point given is minus 2 comma 3. So you're going to find inverse of this point for the circle from the center C. So you need to find the polar. So polar of P. What is polar of P? Formula you got, S1 is equal to 0. Use the formula. You know what is x1, y1 here. You know what is the value of G, what is the value of F, what is the value of C. Substitute these values from the equation and from the point in this equation and tell me the answer. So it is x into minus 2 plus y into minus 3 minus 2 times x minus 2 minus 3 times y plus 3 plus 9 is equal to 0. So simplify this. You get minus 2x plus 3y minus 2x plus 4 minus 3y minus 9 plus 9. So minus 9 plus 9 cancel off. Here minus 2x plus 2x cancel off. You got 3y minus 3y. So you have to have one more x. So it is x1 plus y1. So you get the equation as x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1 as the equation of the polar. So just recheck this, you get answer as x is equal to 1. Next, equation of CP. Y minus, so you know what is C? C is minus 2 comma 3 and P is minus 2 comma 3. So what is the equation of line when 2 points are given? Y minus y1 is equal to slope into x minus x1. So y minus 3, y1 is 3 here, is equal to slope. How to find slope when 2 points are given? Y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So 3 minus 3 by 2 plus 1 of x plus 2. So when you simplify this, you get the equation as y is equal to 3. So you got the polar and you got equation of CP. So you need to solve these equations. So already you got x is equal to and y is equal to 3. So what is solution of these two? It is 1 comma 3. So the common point between the 2 points, what are the points? X is equal to 1 and y is equal to 3 is 1 comma 3. So the point 1 comma 3, you can say it as inverse of minus 2 comma 3. Okay. So finding the inverse point of the circle with respect to another circle. So let us take another important concept which can be asked for a 4 marks in a problem here. Equation of chord or secant with given middle point. So here you got a circle here. You got AB as a chord, right? So what is given on this AB is the middle point. So P is the middle point. So you are going to find the equation of AB if the middle point is given to us, right? Of course, circle equation is given to us. So if Px1 y1 is a middle point of chord AB. So very, very important, the chord should not be diameter. If the chord is diameter, you cannot use this formula. Reason is you can straight away use a point equation of circle and extremities of diameter are given or some other concept similar to that. Okay, so if the point is not the point on the chord or point on the diameter, then this procedure works. So the equation of secant AB is given as S1 is equal to S11. So it's an important equation. S1 is equal to S11 is the equation of chord with a given middle point. So how to prove this? So what is given? Center of circle. We get as C here. And what is center of circle? Standard equation minus G minus F. This should not be equal to the point. What is the point? X1, Y1. So the C should not be equal to P. So already given it is not diameter. That means that minus G minus F should not be equal to X1 comma Y1. Now you see that this is what is a perpendicular. No. So AB is a chord. You observe that AB will be always perpendicular to CP. Is it not so? So once it is perpendicular, then what you can say, you can find slope of AB. How to find slope of AB? Because these two are perpendiculars, the slope of the AB and slope of CP, when you multiply, it should be equal to minus 1. Product of slopes of perpendicular lines is minus 1. So you got a slope of AB into slope of CP should be equal to minus 1. So slope of AB should be equal to minus 1 by slope of CP. So what is slope of CP? 2 points are given. C is given as minus G minus F. P is given as X1 Y1. So you can use the formula Y minus Y1 by X minus X1 here, or Y1 minus Y2 by X1 minus X2 here. You get as minus 1 by, now Y1 minus or minus, so Y1 plus F, X1 minus or minus G, so it is X1 plus G. So we can bring this X1 plus G to the numerator. So you get minus of X1 plus G by Y1 plus F. So definitely the value of Y1 should not be equal to minus F1. If at all you have got the Y1 is equal to minus F1, the denominator value is going to be 0. So it means that you get the slope as infinity. So that is the reason we have given the condition that the point should not be on the diameter. If the point is going to be on the diameter, you are going to get the slope as infinity. So equation of AB, when point is given and slope is given, how to find the equation? Slope point formula, y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So y minus y1 is equal to slope you got here into x minus x1. So cross multiply. So you can write y minus y1 into y1 plus f is equal to minus of x1 plus g into x minus x1. So we got a minus sign, you can bring everything one side. So y minus y1 into y1 plus f plus x minus x1 into x1 plus g is equal to 0. So you can multiply this y into y1, then f into y minus y1 square minus fy1, then x into x1, then g into x minus x1 square, then minus gx1 is equal to 0. So what is it you can do here? Now you can take this xx1, yy1, then you got gx, then fy. Remaining terms you can transfer to other sides. So it is x1 square minus x1 square go the other side plus x1 square. Then you got minus y1 square go the other side plus y1 square. Then you got minus gx1 go the other side plus gx1. Then you got minus f1 go the other side plus f1. So what is it you observe here? You got xx1 plus yy1 plus g times x gx plus f times y. Now you see that you have got you need to write as S1 is equal to S11. So S1 will be having xx1 plus yy1 plus g times x plus x1. So x plus x1 should be there, but there is only x here. So likewise, f times y plus y1 should be there. It is only fy. So you add some terms on both sides. What are the terms you are adding? Gx1, fy1, c on both sides. When you add excuse me, get gx1 plus fi1 plus c. Here also gx1 plus fi1 plus c. Now you see in this equation, you got g times x plus x1, f times y plus y1 plus c. Here gx1, 2gx1, fi1 is 2fi1 plus c. So left hand side equation is s1 is s1 and right hand side is s11. So you get s1 is equal to s11. So if at all you have got y1 plus f is equal to 0 or y1 is equal to minus f, the equation of secant is simply x minus x1 is equal to 0 or simply x is equal to x1. Just go through this. Yeah, so we take a problem here on based on the problem. Find the midpoint of the chord intercepted by x square plus y square minus 2x minus ny plus 1 is equal to 0. And the line equation is given as x minus 2y plus 7 is equal to 0. So what is given in the problem? First of all, analyze. You got a circle equation. You got chord given as x minus 2y plus 7 is equal to 0. And you're going to find this point P. Okay, so the chord is intercepted by the circle. So you got circle equation given, you got the chord equation given, you are asked to find out the value of P. So we try to follow the same procedure what you have been following earlier. So first of all, you take the equation of circle as x square plus y square minus 2x minus 10y plus 1 is equal to 0. Now equation of line, we are not immediately calling it as a chord of contact, but you have to call it as x minus 2y plus 7 is equal to 0. You're just simply calling it as equation of chord, right? So equation of line, you're calling it as x minus 2y plus 7 is equal to 0. So you take the point as x1, y1 is the midpoint of the chord intercepted by circle. So equation of the chord intercepted by circle is given as S1 is equal to S11. So S1 is equal to S11. So you have got a point as x1, y1. you know what is the value of G, F, and C. What is the value of G here? -1. What is the value of F? -5, and C is 1. Substitute there, you get x(x1) plus y(y1) minus 1. Y minus 1 because G value is -1. X plus x1 -5. 2f is -10, so f is -5. Y plus y1 plus C, so C is 1. Right hand side, x1 square plus y1 square minus 2x1 minus 10y1 plus 1, right? So you just rearrange this. You can write x1 minus 1 of x, y1 minus 5 of y. Then you collect all the terms which are not having x and y. So you're not having in x1 square x value, so this comes aside, so minus x1 square minus y1 square, negative sign taken common, so x1 square plus y1 square. Then you got minus x1 here and minus 2x1 here. So when it comes here, minus x1 plus 2x1 is plus x1, but you have taken a negative sign common, minus x1. Then you got a minus 5y1 and minus 10y1 here. So this comes this side, it is plus 5y1. So negative sign is taken common. So it is minus 5y1 is equal to 0. So this is what is the coefficient of x, coefficient of y, and the constant term. So it is only a matter of rearranging things and things seeing in a proper way. Okay. Now you see this equation 3. Now you got two chords. Equation chord given here, equation chord here given here. So it means that these two equations are one and the same. So x minus 2y plus 7 is equal to 0, and x1 minus 1 of x plus y1 minus 5 of y minus x1 square plus y1 square minus x1 minus 5y1 is equal to 0 are one and the same. So they represent the equation of same chord. So it means that they should be, the coefficient should be proportional. So you can say that x1 minus 1 by 1 is equal to y1 minus y by minus 2 is equal to the constant term by the constant term. So you call this as equal to k. Like the earlier method will not work. Like you can get a equation, but here you got a second degree equation x1 square and y1 square. So for that you are calling it as equal to k, some number k. See the difference. Okay, so earlier what you have done is you have solved these two problems and got the value of equation, another equation, you got another equation. But here you got a second degree equation, x1 square and y1 square is there. So that means that that method is not going to work out. So that reason we are going to take it as equal to k. It's also a parallel method. Okay, so x1 minus 1 by 1 is equal to k, and y1 minus y by minus 2 is equal to k, and third term is also equal to k. So when you cross multiply, you get x1 is equal to k plus 1, y1 is equal to minus 2k plus 5, and third term x1 square plus y1 square minus x1 minus 5y1 is equal to 7k. But you have got a minus here, so remove the minus sign, so other side you get minus 7k. So this is another equation in terms of x1, y1 and k. So you need to first, you have to find the value of k first. So to get the value of k, you put the value of x1, y1, whatever you got in this equation. So what you get is k plus 1, x1 is k plus 1, and y1 is minus 2k plus 5, minus x1, minus 5y1, minus 7k comes aside as plus 7k. So expand this, k plus 1 whole square, it is k square so it is going to be k square plus 2k plus 1. Then you got a minus b whole square, 4k square, 2 into 5 into 2k minus 20k plus 25. Then you got minus k minus 1. Then you got plus 10k minus 25 plus 7k. So you got k square and 4k square, which is 5k square. Then you got 2k minus 20k minus 18k minus 18k minus k minus 19k plus 10k plus 7k, we are going to get as minus 2k. Then you got 1, 25, minus 1, minus 25. So 25 minus 25 cancel off, 1 minus 1 cancel off. You get the equation simply as 5k square minus 2k is equal to 0. So 5k square minus 2k is equal to 0 is simple quadratic equation. You can take k common, write as 5k minus 2 is equal to 0. So you can have two values of k. One is k is equal to 0. Second is 5k minus 2 is equal to 0. So k value is 0 and k value is 2 by 5. So you cannot get two middle points. You have to have only one middle point here. But you got two k values. So you have to be very careful about it. Okay. So you have to see which one has to be accepted, which one has to be rejected. Say you take the first point. What is the first point? Taking k is equal to 0. You put the value of x1 as, in the value of x1, what is x1? It is 1 plus k. Put the value of k here. So it is 1 comma 5. When you put x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 5 in this equation, see, when you say the point is lying on the circle here, it has to satisfy the equation. So equation was x minus 2y plus 7 is equal to 0. Now when you put x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 5, what is going to happen? Is it satisfying the equation or not? Check. See here, x is 1 and y is 5. So 1 minus 2 into 5 plus 7. It is minus 2, definitely not equal to 0. So it means that this point is not satisfying this equation. So what is the meaning of it? You cannot take this value here. So what is the point left out? What is the value of k left out? 2 by 5. So you can say k is equal to 0 can be rejected. Let us say k is equal to 2 by 5. So you put the value of 2 by 5 in the equation. So it is k plus 1. 2 by 5 plus 1, then you got minus 2k plus 5. So minus 2 into 2 by 5 plus 5. So 2 by 5 plus 1 is 7 by 5. This is going to be minus 4 plus 25, which is 21 by 5. So 7 by 5 and 21 by 5 is the second point. Now, still you should not get satisfied. Okay, fine, you got a point. You have to check again. Check again, substitute this point 7 by 5 and 21 by 5 in this equation. So 7 by 5 minus 2 times 21 by 5 plus 7. So we take LCM. LCM is 5. You get 7 minus 42. 21 into 2 is 42. And you got a 1 here. Nothing is there means 1 here. 7 5 is 35. So 7 minus 42 plus 35. So 35 plus 7 is 42. 42 minus 42 is 0. 0 by 5 is 0. So it means that the point 7 by 5 and 21 by 5 is satisfying the equation. So you got the middle point as, so you got the middle point as 7 by 5 comma 21 by 5. So we have done today like a very small concepts. One is conjugate points and conjugate lines, and we have taken equation S1 is equal to S11, then proceeded, right? So what is it you have done today here? You learned about conjugate points, conjugate lines. What are conjugate points? 2 points are said to be conjugate points. 2 points has to be conjugate points when the polar of the first lies in second one and polar of second lies in the first one. Conjugate lines, the 2 lines are said to be conjugate lines. Inverse points, 2 points P and Q are said to be inverse points. If the points C, P, Q are collinear, second condition is P and Q should be lying on the same side of C, and the condition is CP into CQ is equal to R square. Instead, we can use simple concept. The point Q is the point of intersection of CP and polar of P. Then you see the points are inverse points. Then we have taken equation of chord with the given midpoint. S1 is equal to S11. Okay, so these are the only concepts which you have taken in your class today. So with this, we'll be able to complete the first 4 exercises of the circles. So let us try to solve some problems based on the concepts. So show that the points are conjugate points with respect to circle. So you got x1, x2 plus y1, y2 plus g times x1 plus x2 plus f times y1 plus y2 plus c. Then find the value of k. The lines are conjugate lines. and find the value of k. The points are conjugate points. So the first problem will be a 2 marks question, second problem will be a 4 marks question, and third problem will be a 2 marks question in your IP examination. Okay, so with this, I'd like to conclude my session, and I would be glad to take up any of the questions which can be asked.
As far as the chat is concerned, there were no questions, sir. It was really very excellent to have sat down with your session today also, as usual. And there were no questions or doubts which were presented. And the students also are instructed that they will go back home and they can review the entire once again, so that if any doubts are there, they can clarify it. They can also interact with their respective teachers. And Deshpande sir, thank you for the great job done. And with this, I think we'll wind up the session. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
It was very nice, Deshpande sir.
Still live, it is still live.
Yes, still.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, it's still online.
Yeah.